We get a little insight as to what's going on with high school football. And Stephen Orr, West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard Show, joining us. The final week of the regular season, correct?
That's right, Chad, and lots of things going to take place tonight. A lot of things are already decided, but there's still some great football out there, and of course, you always got to everybody wants to finish the regular season with a win,
right,
regardless of which side they're on, because after this week, you lose and you go home.
Well, what are there any teams that are sort of on that bubble to make it in?
Well, I think you have some that we'll talk about as we go through, like down in District 2 of 2A Division 1, that Health Center playing tonight for their playoff lives against Olton. Winner of that game goes in. You've got some that are playing for outright district championships. You've got a dandy of a game between Idalou and Spearman for a district championship, and then also Pampa and Levelland both playing. They're playing for a district championship. So, you get up in the big schools like the Lubbock and Amarillo schools there, that's pretty much settled. Coronado finished their season last week. They finished at 3-7, 0-4 in district, so they're out. The Amarillo schools will go in Division 1 and the Lubbock schools in Division 2. Big game taking place tonight has Friendship hosting Amarillo High. Amarillo High is 8-1 on the year, 3-0 in district play. And if Friendship was to beat them, that will throw that district into a three-way tie. If Amarillo wins, they will win the district championship outright. Again, no playoff implications, but you know that Amarillo High sure would like to have an uncontested district championship, and
sure,
Friendship, I'm sure, would like to have a share of it. So a really good ball game that's going to be played there at Peoples Bank Stadium at 7:30 in Lubbock tonight. So, and then the other game has Monterey taking on Amarillo Tascosa, and Monterey is at 1-2 in district play. Tascosa 2-1. So that's a game. Monterey just wants to finish with a little more momentum. But Amarillo Tascosa, a really good ball club, 7-2 on the year. They lost to Amarillo High last week, 14-7. So that should be a good ball game. I think Monterey's probably going to come up a bit short, but again, they will live to fight another day. Drop down into 5A. District 4, and that's a district with Lubbock Cooper, Abilene Cooper, Plainview, San Angelo, Lakeview, and Lubbock. Lubbock Cooper finished their season up last week. They're 4-0 in district. They're district champion. The big game tonight is Plainview High taking on Lubbock High. Lubbock High is 1-8 on the year, 0-3 in district, but if they were to manage to upset Plainview and San Angelo Lakeview could upset Abilene Cooper, that could put a little bit of turmoil and actually get Lubbock High into the playoffs. At 1-8.
Wow. I know you're a fan of that.
I don't think that's going to happen, but
that is better than the 0-win team from last year that made it in.
That would be the poster child for my rant next week when we start talking about the playoffs.
I can't wait for that.
Moving right along, we drop down into the 4A classification. Like I said, Pampa and Levelland playing for a district championship, playing at Harvester Field up in Pampa. Could be a little bit chilly tonight for that ball game, but Levelland certainly, they're sitting at 5-3 overall in the year. Pampa at 6-3. These two teams are very similar, and they've been putting up a lot of points. The one thing that I will say, Pampa has been more stingy on defense, giving up through the course of the year 100 less points than what Levelland has. So, and they've also scored just a few more, but that's going to be a real shootout of a ball game. Estacada finished up their season last night with a win over Seminole 14-6, and that means that, yes, last week they beat them, so let's see, tonight they have the night off, but if everything goes as planned, I think that you'll see Lubbock Estacada in the playoffs with a losing record as well. Drop into District 3, or Classification 3A, District 1. Muleshoe, Childress, and Littlefield all sit with a 3-1 district record. Big ball game tonight has Muleshoe taking on Littlefield. And, if you followed football on the South Plains for very long, that's always a very competitive game, and especially when you have a three-way tie for the top of the district in seeding. The other game that's really important there this week is going to be Dimmitt taking on Amarillo River Road, because the winner of that game is going to take the fourth playoff spot in that district. But again, a big ball game between Muleshoe and Littlefield. I think Muleshoe probably has the edge. I think they've got a little more athleticism overall. But I just know when these two teams play, this is a rivalry game. They're two very physical teams, and I think that'll be a dandy of a ball game as well. Drop down into District Division 2 of 3A, and that's where we were talking about Spearman and Idalou. Spearman 9-0 on the year, Idalou 8-0 on the year, both 4-0 in district play. Two undefeated teams take it to the last game of the season to see who's going to be your outright district champion, and that probably is going to be my marquee game of the evening. It's going to be an outstanding ball game. The thing is, that thing's up at Spearman, so if you want to go watch it, you're going to have to leave about noon.
Right.
That's all. That's
road trip.
That is a long road trip up there, and Chad, people down here don't realize, and I actually lived up in Spearman at one time, how much colder it can get up there versus here, and you really don't think about it, but that actually could, especially as we get this late in the year, that could be a factor in that game. But at least the cold front and all the weather that we had yesterday is blown through, and I think it should be up for a really good night. But that's going to be a great ball game. The other game that's important there is Lubbock Roosevelt taking on Sanford Fritch. Sanford Fritch is at 2-2 in district. They punched their playoff ticket. Roosevelt needs to get the win to give themselves a chance to be in the playoffs as well. So that's going to be a huge game for them tonight. We talked just a minute ago about District 2 of 2A Division 1. That's New Deal, Abernathy, Floydada, and Hale Center. Hale Center and Oldham playing tonight. The winner there is going to take that fourth playoff spot. Floydada lost a heartbreaker to Abernathy last week, 28-21. They will take on New Deal this week. New Deal has scored 427 points on the year while giving up 74.
Wow.
So Floydada's got their hands full, but if they could figure out how to beat New Deal, then that's going to lock all three of those two, New Deal, Abernathy, and Floydada at 3-1 in district. And then some tiebreakers will come into play there, and that could be really interesting. But the main thing there is Hale Center or Olton going for that fourth playoff spot. Hale Center has a record of 4-5, Olton a record of 2-7, so that will be another poster child next week when we talk about that. In Class Division 2 of 2A, District 3, you've got Crosbyton, Quanah, Memphis, and Lockney will be headed to the playoffs, and Lockney has a big game tonight against Crosbyton in Crosbyton. Should be a really good ball game. Quanah has Rawls yet to win a game on the year, and so I don't see a whole lot changing in the lineup in that district, but maybe some jockeying for seeding. Real quickly, we'll jump down into six-man football. Big ball game tonight with Nazareth and Miami playing, as that will determine the second seed. Happy's going to win that district outright, and we drop down into Division 2, and we're looking here at Southland and Whit Harrell. Looks like they're going to be making a trip to the playoffs. Whit Harrell has Wilson, who is 5-4 on the year. It should be a good ball game, but I think Southland and Whit Harrell will be your champions there. So that's kind of what we've got. Games of the week for me, I'm really wanting to see the Amarillo Friendship game. That's going to be a good ball game because it's two teams that are traditional. I mean, they're good ball clubs. They want to finish with momentum. And like I said, they're both playing for a share of or an outright district championship. The other game that really I like to see is Muleshoe Littlefield, and then I think the best game of the night by far is going to be Spearman at Idalou.
All right, Stephen Orr, West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard Show. We'll visit with you, I guess, for the last time during the season next week, and you get to go on your you get to get on the soapbox a little bit.
I'm going to research through the next week how many games I feel like make my point.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to say that?
That's a good one. That's a good one. What now? Lubbock High can still get in, right?
Yes, they can. They're going to have to beat Plainview, and San Angelo Lakeview will have to beat Abilene Cooper.
With one win, they can get in.
And they can get in.
How about that? That'll be something if that happens.
You just don't want me to do this today, Chad.
I know. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till next week, and then we'll unleash you.
Well, the whole thing is why, especially in a day and age of player safety, and this is one of my big arguments. Player safety. You have so many mismatches when it's a 1 versus 4.
Right.
Talent-wise, size-wise, speed-wise, all that. If we're truly concerned about player safety, then why do we put teams in a situation to get completely blown up?
Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner.
But to me, even if I'm the top-seeded team, how do you play that game? Do you put all your starters in there and risk getting somebody hurt on a game you're going to win by 60 points?
Right.
But you can't start the playoffs with an attitude of we're not going to play our best.
Yeah.
I just think it's a no-win situation for everybody except the UIL, who gets 20% off the top.
That's a pretty good deal for them. Absolutely. Stephen Orr, West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard Show. You can hear the West Texas Friday Night Scoreboard Show here on KFYO and on our sister station, 1340 The Fan, 10 p.m. to midnight. Stephen, thank you.
Hey, Chad, thank you. Have a great day.
We'll talk to you next week.
You bet.